am I wrong to fall so deeply in love with you, knowing I got a wife and 2 little children depending on me too? And am I wrong to hunger for the gentleness of your touch, knowing I got someone else at home who needs me just as much? Are you wrong to give your love to a married man? And am I wrong?
So this is my 1975 Datsun 280Z. I didn't even know that I had this car anymore. This was my first project car ever. I got it in high school. I thought my cousin up in North Dakota, he had a body shop at the time. I thought he was going to do all the body work and get this thing right. I mean, check it out, man. It's been 7 years. So if we're being super honest, I thought he fucking sold this thing for crack like 5 years ago, but he didn't, obviously. And it looks worse than I could have ever imagined. But we have it now. And I have most of the parts to get this to run. So while the Demon was going to take up a lot of space in the shop while we do the framework, this thing could be done a lot faster. And so we're just going to be slapping parts on this thing and trying to get it on the road as fast as we can. First step is we're going to take some frame measurements. Lord knows what's happened to this car in the past 7 years. And it's an old car and it's a unibody, all of that. So we're going to take a bunch of frame measurements. And then the next step will be handling the rust repair. We're just going to do the bare minimum to get this thing like structurally sound. And then we'll go from there. I already have most of the suspension parts. I still got a bunch of stuff to order because when I was in 10th grade, I didn't really know anything. So I bought a bunch of random shit. So now we're going back over it, going to get the suspension back on it. And then we'll start doing the body work. So the body work that you see here is not what I'm going to be using. I thought this kit was really fucking badass in like 11th grade, but now honestly this is just not my taste anymore. I think I need to give a little more insight on the build idea for the 75 280Z. This car is going to be my interpretation of a late 70s Mulholland racer. Absolutely love the like garage built, super analog, just nasty street machines and race cars that just regular dudes in their garages were cooking up. I'm super inspired by the John Greenwood Corvettes when it comes to drivetrain. I think that's the most ridiculous old school racing drivetrain, at least to me. When it comes down to it, it's pure hot rodding at its finest form. This will be a street car replication of that. So starting with the engine, it's going to be a D-stroked 454. I'm hoping to get around 650 horsepower with it. Red line of 7,000, hopefully. T56 6-speed transmission. The rear end is going to be a fully fabricated Ford 9-inch housing designed to work on custom independent rear suspensions. I want this thing to be essentially a chopper with a roof on it. I want it to just fire up and go and not have to think about it. Alright, so as you can see, we have it in here now. We did a little off-camera stripping of all the bullshit that we aren't going to use anymore. But now we have it in place. We're gonna get the rest of the little shit that's still in the car pulled. And then, I mean, currently I'm too broke to afford a fucking generator to power our new welder, but once that gets in here later this week, we're gonna just brace this whole thing up and start on the rust repair. So right now, what we're doing is just getting the interior all cleared out and stripping all the seam sealer out. I want to see where all the rust is, and also it's good just to have the seam sealer out so when I stitch weld the chassis panels, it's already clean. Right now We're just gonna get the car supported, we're gonna get it level, braced, and then we're gonna start with the rocker panels and work our way in. I'm not gonna tell you how to do certain shit on your like brand new fucking pack.
Look how easy that was.
Wow, I thought it was because I want you to all, maybe one day you can all see my body in person. If you even care. If any of you even fucking care. Alright, wow, look at that. That's a Datsun steering wheel that will be on offer up.
Wow, yeah, that's pretty fucking easy.
Wow. Well, that was easy. Jesus Christ. This is a full white trash restoration, dude. We don't have no frame table, we ain't got no rotisserie, but we're taking out all the seam sealers so we can stitch weld the chassis right now. So.
This is a white trash Paisa collab.
Yeah, this is... And you know what? They would get down the exact same way.
Yeah, white trash and Paisa is
Work the same.
like this, bro.
And it's good because we don't got room for no rotisserie or nothing like that.
We don't have rotisserie money.
So we're just gonna fucking put it on jack stands and rebuild the whole fucking car. Like that.
It's not bad, dude. This is all you need.
Do you need to take care of those?
No. Yeah, you should never dress these. You should never ever maintain these. Just run it. Because you're gonna put Bondo on it at the end, anyways, right? What's the fucking point?
So these floors can't be more than 6 years old, and they literally look original to the car. I don't know how he did this. I'm just gonna say this, I'm just gonna be blunt. This is the worst fucking work I've ever seen in my life, and I'm so happy that he didn't touch more of this car. Every day I wake up and thank God that he didn't touch more of this car, or else I literally would have scrapped it. So we're gonna start from here, and we're gonna do our best to just get this thing back to clean. It's gonna be a race car, so it doesn't need to be perfect to Datsun OEM standards, but as you can see, we're starting with about as bad of a canvas as you can realistically start with and expect to get a slightly functioning car out of. So let's get going. All right, so we've done all the stripping, we've gotten this car ready to start the rest repair. But before you start, what we like to do is make sure the car is dead level. So we fabbed up some just redneck frame table, adjustable mounts on the front. That will help us kind of twist the chassis however it needs to twist to get it level. So we've measured off the front frame rail from the top and the bottom of the frame rail. After the front frame rails, we measured it off of the strut towers, the windows, and the rear diff mount, because the rear diff mount is pretty much the only subframe that this car has on the rear portion. The entire middle of the car is completely rotted and distorted, so I didn't trust any of that to give me a level reading. So as long as front and back is good, we're gonna chop out the whole middle and weld it in to frame dimension spec.
With
so this probably looks like way different than like when you guys last saw the car. A lot of shit happened between now and then. Hard to get to the shop, a lot of work, everything going wrong in our lives, essentially. My ear almost ripped off. Darcy got like deathly ill again. Nothing is going smoothly. Tonight is the night to be a fucking champion, because we essentially have like a week or two's worth of work that we're gonna just do tonight. So starting with this, we have remade all the metal that attaches to the rockers. If I haven't mentioned it yet, this car is so fucked up and so rusted that all of the sheet metal that I bought, there was no part of the car that was even good enough to weld it to. So we needed to redo the sheet metal that the new sheet metal welds to even have a base to work with. So we have this part, we have this part. We can go over here. And we also have the rough beginnings of this side panel for the firewall. Now everything is kind of like roughly made just because we're still kind of mocking everything up. I feel like when you have this much sheet metal to add to a car, I feel like you can't just start welding it all in, because you don't know what's going to line up. So essentially we have the rockers, the firewall, and all the new metal mocked up just for the outside of the rocker, and then we'll move our way in. So let's start with this. Right now we're going to prep the top of the rocker, basically covered in weld through primer, and get them lined up. We're going to make a final measurement, and if it's good, we're just going to start welding shit in. So this is my grand idea. I honestly, I think about this like for like 90% of every day. This is going to be the outside of the frame rail. So this will go along here. We're going to cut this little front section of the inside out so it's not hitting on it, and then it will be able to go all the way to the front and then box out to the front frame rails, tying that in. This back side will go all the way back and tie into the new rear subframe, which is going to be the same bar. This all works nicely because it will sit in here perfectly. Whatever. You idiots see what I'm like talking about. This is essentially how it's going to sit. You can't even see it in there. It's all nice and enclosed. Then the floor weld to this, and you're good. So this will be here. Box of the new frame rails, and the frame rails come down the center. I wish I could like X-brace it. I know I want to improve the torsional rigidity of this thing, but at a certain point,
big concepts here.
Big concepts. You want to improve the torsional rigidity without your roll cage. You don't want your roll cage to be like everything in terms of the torsional rigidity of like a race car chassis, but in this case it's gonna kind of have to be there, because it's at the end of the day like an OEM designed frame, and I don't want to do an entire frame, so this is the best we can do. Also, I do think that having this bar kind of go along and then box to the front, it will give the roll cage something better to weld to than just like plating onto like 18 gauge. So it'll be a little more structural too. So I think that fits really well in there. I think we'll probably do like a little stitch welds through here and then plug weld on the top, and then maybe if we're feeling even crazier, we can stitch weld here too, because that won't be in the way. I honestly am excited to see how this car performs because of how much we're changing, and because of how much of it is just us trying to like be theoretical in like our design. So I'm really excited to see how this all works together. I think the idea should be solid. And if anyone is even watching at this point, if you have like a history in frame design for like road racing if you're actually like an old dude that has road raced a lot and you have like an idea and you know the Datsun frame and you have an idea, please just message us. I'm open. I'm not like an asshole that thinks I'm the GOAT.
Honestly, yeah, if you know
more than me,
if you're worth your salt, please fucking intervene.
So, all right, so check this out, everyone. It might look a little crazy from the backside, but we now have our frame mocked up. So it lies perfectly flush along the top, as you can see. And it just kind of sits in here really well. You can see there was a bunch of rocker material that was in the way of the frame smoothly laying down, but there you go. Not catching on anything anymore. The good thing. So we got good news and we got bad news. All right. At the end of the day, good news. We can keep the majority of the outside so that we can spot weld this to the inner rocker. And we're pretty much gonna have it prepped tonight. Bad news. I don't know how. I don't know. I'm just, frankly, I'm a fucking idiot. I thought all the tubing we had in the entire shop was this exact size, and I was wrong. All our tubing is this size. So the extra long night extravaganza is gonna have to be cut slightly shorter, because tomorrow I'm gonna grab some more of this size for the rocker frame. Okay, so we've test fit everything. This is going to be the final fitment of the frame bar for the rockers. I left it a bit long so we can obviously cut to exact length, but I'm about to weld this up, and then we're gonna start test fitting it on either side. Once we get them both dialed in on each side, we're gonna get the rockers welded in, and this step is done. The car is finally not like chopped in half anymore. We're actually gonna have structure to this thing. So as you can see, they've been like roughly put in place. We just spent a decent amount of time like leveling the rocker bars that we put in, like leveling them this way with our little digital level, and then we leveled them under the car as well. We just double checked our frame points that we're going off of to make sure the chassis is level. So rear strut towers and the front frame rail. Let's weld this in. It's perfect. Let's just do it. I'm done test fitting. Let's go. Let's work. Work hard.
Don't look at the other, just look at this weld right here.
And look at those spot welds.
Look at these spot welds. Now, how much y'all paying me an hour?
Did you guys see that? Do you guys see how it's all welded in? Are we filming?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so do you guys see all that? So basically, I don't know, I gotta like clean it up and make it look better. You guys probably saw some like gaps here and there, like some like imperfections. I'm gonna make it look really good, don't worry about it. And then like a hint of like fiberglass Bondo. I'll be honest, I'm gonna use a little bit of that. And so that is pretty much it. Dude, you guys, if you haven't, you gotta really like go to like, if you live in an area that this is possible, go to like a vintage racing event and look at some of the cars that you see on those Instagram pages that you follow for like inspo and like aesthetics or whatever. Those cars in real life have some of the most savage welds and savage fabrication you're ever gonna see. I'm not saying that to just justify me not being that good at this, but I'm just saying at the end of the day, if it's strong, if it's straight, if it's level, if it's exact in terms of placement, that's what truly matters, at least on a race car. Like I said, I'm gonna clean everything up. On something like this, I don't really want to grind it down all the way. This is like a main structural piece. I kind of want to leave a little bit of meat on it, and then, you know, whatever.
trick of the trade. Anyways, okay, so the next steps is pretty much I'm gonna rearrange some of the support bars on the front, because I'm gonna redo the cowl, and I can't have them welded to the cowl if I'm gonna redo the cowl. So that's pretty much up next. And then after that, I'm gonna support the strut towers in the front, and we're gonna get moving on the new frame, the new firewall, the new cowl, tie it all together, put the new center frame rails in, and now we're really cooking. This thing is about to really come together soon, so that'll probably be the next time you guys see this. Right now, the main focus is about to be on the Shelby, so look at it.
Cool.
Until next time, I guess.
Until next time. Shout out to like our 3 viewers that actually watch these videos.
Okay. I want to say
are the
this.
goats.
I want to
Thanks,
actually say this. Literally, shout out to the people that actually watch this shit